Hey, welcome back, Rankers. How you doing? Thank you for all the feedback and questions from last week's show. It was a bit of an eye-opener for me as well. I had no idea that Magento was declining in popularity. And we've had a few people mention that since Adobe's taken over, what is going to happen to those community editions of Magento? I don't think anyone has any insight on that yet. If you have, please let us know. But one of the other questions that I got asked most commonly last week was, Jim, what about WordPress and WooCommerce? Now, the reason I didn't include that in our breakup of the e-commerce sites and their popularity was because, as far as I know, and please someone correct me, it might be a plugin out there, WooCommerce didn't certainly allow you to manage inventory across, say, all the different marketplaces like eBay, Amazon, all these different things. So that's why I excluded it last week. As far as WooCommerce goes, yes, it's great for WordPress. You want to turn your WordPress into a e-commerce site, awesome. Having looked at, but look at these numbers here. Having looked at these numbers now, and last week, looking at the growth of Shopify, which absolutely shocked and stunned me. And what I've got in here is Squarespace, WooCommerce, WordPress, and Shopify. Now, WordPress has declined year on year by about 7 or 8% in search volume globally, and you can see it's trending down. That surprises me as well. So if you're making a decision on a e-commerce project, tell you what, Shopify is looking like a really good option, because if you are going to go and set up an e-commerce project, you just want to test it, see how it goes, whatever. Setting up a WordPress site, you've got to find a hosting company. You've got to get all that done. You've got to integrate WooCommerce, make all that work, make all the shopping carts work, make sure the catalog works across everything. But Shopify, it's kind of already there. It's turnkey, and I think that's where people are going. And that was said last week. Someone on YouTube, I've forgotten who, sorry, did make the comment that a lot of the self-marketing gurus, the work from home gurus, those sorts of people, they are promoting Shopify a lot apparently because of its drop shipping ability. And there's a service that Shopify own called Oberlo, and that will allow you to quickly find dropship products you can just add into your store. So when you look at that, and the downsides, of course, longer term, is that Shopify, you're always going to be tied into some sort of transactional fee as far as their pricing model goes at the moment. But certainly in answer to those questions about WooCommerce and WordPress, certainly in our experience from an SEO perspective, WooCommerce can be, it has its own set of problems, and including, changing URL structures, all these sorts of things. But once you get into large catalogs, it tends to become a little bit unusable from an SEO perspective. It can create a lot of different issues with large catalogs. But as far as, because I'm getting a lot of questions about e-commerce sites recently and platforms to get on, and the problem with Magento is, and we don't know whether Adobe's going to solve this, is that it's you've got companies out there charging $100,000 for a Magento site, whereas you can go and set up on Shopify for $40. Now, they're not going to be the same site, and they're not going to be, anywhere near the same functionality or any of those sorts of things. But if you are trying a new brand out, if you are setting up a new store for something, then I'd be advising you to go and have a look at Shopify, maybe have a look at WooCommerce and WordPress. But, I'm kind of moving away from Magento unless you're an established business with a record and you can justify, moving to Magento 2.0 or those sorts of things. But Magento 2.0 has got some serious competition when it comes to Shopify. I'll just have a look here. So that's worldwide. So still trending down, and Shopify is trending up. We worked out this was sort of 2.0 announcements coming along, which is why it spiked back then. But it certainly hasn't been the thing that's seen it take off and go to another level. In fact, the opposite is true. Hopefully that's helpful. And if you have any questions, any comments, please leave them. You have any theories, or maybe you're using an e-commerce system that is new and you really, really like it, we should hear about it. Let us know, and we'll see you next week. Thanks very much.